All right, so everybody, today is Monday, it's the 27th of July, and this is Shane with daily-astrocat.com. The moon is going to be in Capricorn all day long, so if you hate Mondays, guess what? This is a Monday for you. Why? Because the moon in earthy Capricorn is us at our most practical and businesslike, right? We kind of want to go back to work. Go figure, right? All right, so get going, right? This is a great day for setting goals, too, personal goals as well. Working and getting through all of the noise into the essence of the tasks at hand. Just get your hands going, right? Now, today is your chance to clean up a lot of things before the full moon. Like what kind of things? Well, while personal transformation is optional, the early morning is going to give us a chance to set us free from the constraints of a retrograde Saturn. This is really big creative energy. There's really big creative energy here today. And I want you to know that you got to be able to just hook right into it, right? If you can hook into it, then you can get it. The sun is in perfect alignment with Pluto in that cradle. And it's going to start making, connections all over the place on that cradle. So, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So that by tonight, by later on, your work assignment, look, that's going to be very simple, okay? Get the job done. That's your work assignment for today. By tonight, we have a great opportunity to open the floodgates on our projects right around 8:08 in the evening. Oh, 8:08, right? No, that's the number of the Lion's Gate. Well, what do you know? Now, so if we can really decouple from what is holding us back, we can begin to shift the narrative once again. We begin shifting the narrative. We become the catalyst for that rather than everything shifting us. Before, it's felt like we've been kind of tossed around a little bit. Now we're going to be able to sink ourselves in. Remember, Leo, the sun in Leo is a fixed sign, and that is what's going to start having this coalesce around us rather than battering us around. The color is a deep red garnet color. Now, the Leo sun begins to assert itself in unmistakable ways. Like I just said, we're going to become a catalyst. Start your day off with a list of must-dos, not to-dos, must-dos. Not wishes, but practical and creative things that we expect to have crushed by the end of the day. In quiet moments, go deep and see how in touch you are with your personal sense of transformation. Still a little bit of that hangover, right? The Cancer hangover, but now we're starting to really get into this Leo thing. The difficulties that have been suddenly thrust upon us will appear quite differently once the sun has joined Jupiter. We're going to be able to step outside of that now. And now, next thing you know, we're going to be fixed and moving in a direction that we determine in. And that's how we inure ourselves against this, right? So now the look, those difficulties, they've been thrust upon us. They're going to start to just appear quite differently because the sun is joined, like I said before, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto in that cradle. Now, it feels harmonious, but there's something missing, believe it or not, and that something is Saturn. Saturn retrograde will feel alienating at first for many. Okay, and it has. It's made us feel like, this is being buffeted around, right? We're not the catalysts. We're the we're the solution stirring around it. All right. Look, Saturn retrograde, even though it feels like it, eventually Saturn is going to go back to 7 degrees of Aries and will effectively rejoin this cradle in late November. So we have that energy from outside working within, and it's going to feel like we're joining it, right? It's because this is an exercise in time and space, right? Because Saturn's not there yet, but it will be. But can we go inside of ourselves and make it part of it now and have it be there and alter the fabric of time and space? Some would argue, yes, we can. That's a very curious conversation, isn't it? Just like this microphone isn't solid, it's actually vibrating molecules that form this hard metal thing here that I'm holding on to. But, if I do that, it's still behind it. But, if you had the right vibration and stuff like that, who knows what you could do, right? So look, this is an energetic opening which will allow us to take in more information. we're going to be able to receive more information. We receive it from in, and then from within, we can take it from without. Pluto begins to make a strong case for universal freedom, planetary stewardship, and human rights. So despite feeling incredibly energized and ready to tell everyone everything about what it is we're doing and where we're headed, Mercury is still in the shadow. It's not retrograde anymore, but it's still in that shade period. So we're kind of like reforming ourselves before we start putting that message out there, right? What is it that we're going back over, that we've gone deep in Cancer, and we're going to pull from out of us to be able to communicate, to have it unify all these various threads that we've been talking about in this whole basket, for the lack of the other word, right? They called it a basket. I'm calling it a cradle. Now, look, Mercury is still in that shadow period, and at 8:08 p.m., and until the moon goes void of course, we will understand the number, the frequency, and the means by which we can affect these outcomes. We can actually use this in a positive manner, a proactive manner, to be able to determine what these outcomes will be and how we can solidify that catalyst, and then be able to use ourselves as that catalyst to be able to go forward, right? The sun is energizing, empowering us up, and is up to us to set it off in the right direction. So it's up to us to really just get it going. It is almost like the moon in Capricorn is a mirror that will make the light more cohesive and increase its power. Very much like a laser, right? Is that catalyst the mirror? Are we the mirror? That's what it could be, right? Increasing that power? Absolutely. That's a possibility. The moon will be void of course at 11:11 on the West Coast. There's another familiar number, right? And that is 2:11 here on the East Coast. Curious, right? Still an 11 in there, right? So this energy will confirm your course and setting. That Saturn retrograde energy is going to allow you to get through that portal that is opening up inside of everyone. Oh, Saturn is a portal. We've talked about that at the beginning of the year. We talk about Saturn being related to Janus. Janus is the god of portals and doorways, the namesake of the month of January. So that's an interesting concept, that Saturn can act that way. And as the ruler of Aquarius, by all means, it operates that way. Now, let's talk about this. Not necessarily Saturn as a doorway or anything, but now the question is, who can we bring along with us through this portal to these various things, right? At 11:11, the moon is trine Venus, and so your answer is both easy and made more difficult at the same time. Venus, she's not very happy in Virgo, and any little stresses in a relationship that a relationship may have, can lead to a whole lot of nitpicking and misunderstanding. Oddly enough, a deeply spiritual connection can be formed if and only if we decide to adapt our routines to complement each other. That's kind of an interesting thought, right? A mutable sign, mutable energy, Venus not being comfortable. Make her comfortable. Make that relationship work. It's much easier than trying to start another one. All right? And so, look, consider this as a Mercury retrograde lesson. Exactly. So that little bit of stress and strain that you may be feeling a little bit is totally a retrograde lesson, and that clears up on Friday of this week. So look, let's talk about this, because we're all set, right? That's what I've got. So in 1586, Walter Raleigh brings the first tobacco to England from Virginia, and that's where it all starts, cigarettes and pipes and stuff like that. And our birth is an odd one for this one. It's Ludovico Sforza, okay? He is an Italian duke from Milan from 1694 to 1508. He was born on this date in 1652, and he is the dude, or the duke, who commissioned Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper. He's born in Vigevano in Italia, and that is all I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate and love every single one of you. Let's recap, shall we? Our color is deep garnet, or red, right? And the key word is opening, as in we got some openings here. Today's got some very powerful energy to it, even though we did talk about some things that we needed to address. We're going to go with an 8. Today's an 8. Get it done, right? Get it done. That's what it got. Have Happy astrocatting.